after a man has become aware of the fact that he is overly focused on his mother and is ignoring his own life, he may also find that he doesn't have a strong need to do anything about it. If he is single, then he will continue to suffer. And if he is in a relationship, his partner will also suffer. But with that aside, he could wonder why he doesn't feel a strong need to change his life. He can find that a big part of him is happy to carry on as normal, even though this isn't truly serving him. However, he could also see that he seldom stands up for himself and allows other people to walk over him. If so, not having a strong need is not exactly going to be a surprise, as if he finds it hard to stand his ground, it is to be expected that he would find it hard to direct his life. Asserting himself will take energy, while changing the direction of his life will take even more. Taking this into account, he is going to be like a car that doesn't have an engine. He will lack the oomph that he needs to go from where he is to where he wants to be. At this point, he could feel pretty helpless and hopeless, and question if his life will ever change. The outcome of this is that he could feel low and even think about calling it a day. What is likely to play a part in this is that he could have a very negative inner voice. Due to how normal and strong this voice is, he could generally believe that what it says is the truth. In reality, this voice is likely to largely be the result of how he was spoken to during his formative years. Nothing more, nothing less. Thus, it is not a voice that represents the truth. Now, when it comes to his inability to get himself moving, it is likely to show that he doesn't have a strong connection with his aggression. Another part of this is that he is unlikely to have a strong connection with his needs and feelings. Instead of being firmly rooted in his body, then, he will live on the surface of himself. For him to be in his power and feel alive, he will need to inhabit his body as opposed to living in his head. Along with this, it can show that his system is in a frozen state, which is why he finds it hard to assert himself and direct his own life. He will then look free from the outside, but he won't feel free on the inside. Being in this state, something that is often called functional freeze, will show that at one time or another he felt completely overwhelmed. To handle what was going on and ensure his survival, his system would have gradually and automatically gone into a shutdown, collapsed, frozen, and disconnected state. After becoming aware of this, he could start to wonder why he is this way and is not firmly rooted in his body. This is likely to be a consequence of what he experienced during his formative years. So, as he is focused on his mother, he is likely to have had to focus on her when he was a boy. This would have meant that he missed out on what he needed to grow and develop in the right way. At this stage of his life, he needed an attuned mother who was generally able to meet his needs. But as his mother was likely to have been consumed by her own needs, for whatever reason, she wasn't able to be there for him. As a result, he would have been forced to adapt to her, with him behaving more like her parent than her son. He would have soon learned that certain needs wouldn't be met, and if he expressed them, he would suffer even more. If he did express them, he might have been criticized, ignored, rejected, and/or left. Losing touch with certain needs and being focused on his mother's needs was then a way for him to survive, and an indirect way for him to try to meet his own needs. Furthermore, if he didn't do what his mother wanted, his father might have soon verbally and/or physically harmed him. Ultimately, it wasn't safe for him to be connected to and express himself. And this is why he had to disconnect from himself and be who his mother and perhaps his father wanted him to be. His inability to stand his ground and lead himself is then not a sign that there is something inherently wrong with him. It is a sign that he is in an underdeveloped and traumatized state. What is going on for him will be holding him back, but it will be what kept him alive all of those years ago. To move forward, he is going to have pain to face and work through, and unmet developmental needs to experience, among other things. This will take courage, patience, and persistence. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.